The Dallas County Commissioners haven't been asked to sit as the Tax Board of Equalization for at least 25 years. But currently, 75-plus people are here asking the Commissioners to adjust their tax property evaluation. Some officials here at the courthouse point out that the aroused concern is due in part to the national economic plight. Others point out that the city of Dallas has also raised taxes at just about the same time. Many of the people here are businessmen with substantial holdings. Some are retired older people with fixed limited incomes, and many are just ordinary citizens with modest homes. One of these is Henry Philippsborn.
All I can do is come down here and voice my protest. The other reaction in the future would be probably that in any future bond issues, regardless of the needs, you're going to say no at the polls.
Do you think this is typical of not only you, but many other, particularly many retired people who don't have regular jobs?
I think somewhere along the line, people will realize that that's the only way they have to tell officials that before you put a bond issue in front of the voters, you better think twice, because anything we're doing is going to bring increased taxes. So somewhere along the line we have to put a stop to it.
The commissioners are concerned about the citizens' plight, but the county itself faces a tax problem with too many demands on too little money. What they'll be able to do about the individual citizens' plight is a good question. This is Teel Salaun reporting from the Dallas County Records Building.
When you decided that somebody was shooting at you this morning, what were your thoughts?
When I decided that they were shooting at me, actually my thoughts were a little more preempted. I responded when I had seen an automobile follow me. It was a white car, and the immediate thoughts when I had seen what looked like a barrel of a gun sticking out of the window, and I can see it silhouetted up against the white car, was just to get out of the car, of which I had done.
The committee could recommend, as it did last year when the governor appointed a blue ribbon committee, could recommend to the board what needs to be done to hold down these outrageous increases. The board did not see fit to follow that committee's recommendation. I would hope that this time, if the governor appoints a committee, that the board would follow the recommendations of the committee and would protect the public interest.
If the board does nothing, then the only answer insofar as Texas is concerned then is legislation.
That's right. If the board refuses to follow its statutory duty to protect the public, then we in the legislature must act to protect the public, and it's at that point that I would favor a special session.
If we have one person out here to separate and divide us and causing chaos, then God help Dallas County and the community.
The judge says he speaks for the people and the silent majority.
I don't know who the judge speaks for, but I doubt that he speaks for the majority of the people of this county, the people that's in the middle, and I'm not speaking of the way left or the way right. I think he's speaking for a small element of this community. And if they only knew what this commissioner's court knows and how he spends all of his time working against the commissioners who are elected the same as he is, and by the way, they're always elected with an opponent. He has never had an opponent but one time in the 22 years he's been down here. And no one knows if he speaks for whom or whom he speaks for.
The Dallas County Commissioner's Court hasn't been asked to sit as the Tax Board of Equalization for at least 25 years. Currently, some 75-plus citizens are here asking the Dallas County Commissioners to adjust their tax property evaluation. Some of the officials here at the courthouse point out that some of the concern has been aroused by the national economic plight. Other people also say that the City of Dallas raising of taxes at the same time has had its effect. Some of the people here are big businessmen, many are ordinary citizens, and many are older retired people with a fixed limited income. Some of these people say that if their taxes aren't lowered, they'll be forced to sell their property to pay their taxes. The commissioners are listening with a kindly ear, but what they can do about it is the question. This is Teel Salaun reporting.
The Republican Party is a minority party in Texas, but under our weak and imperfect election laws, it can split the voters in its own Republican voters into two primaries, as it recently did, and can dominate the political issues in Texas by nominating its candidates in two primaries at the same time. And we had an example of that in the 2nd of May. 40 states in the Union require a voter to designate his party when he registers and then go to conventions and vote in the primaries only in the party of his choice. 40 states. He has to say whether he's a Democrat or Republican or Independent or American Party or whatever party. Anyone in any of these states can shift their affiliation in the general election and vote for whom they think will best serve the country. But as long as they're in party operations, they've got to be a member of that party. And the 40 states do not permit a Democrat or a Republican to roam around over into the primaries or the conventions of the other party and debase the political processes of that other party and deny the free choice of the members of that party by participating in the primary of the other party. 10 states do permit these crossovers of voters from one primary to the other, and Texas is one of these 10 crossover permitting states.
My proposal would be to get enough land connecting with Tarrant County and building a criminal courts building and holding facilities with enough area to teach trades and have enough extra area to have exercise areas for the prisoners to take exercise.
Now, how much area are we talking about from each county?
We're talking in the area of 1,000 to 2,000 acres